Hi, everybody. It's Hugh Burrell. I'm very, very happy to be joined by Kate Johnston. She is a Golf Town employee in Kitchener, but not only that, she's trying to make the Epson tour and with dreams of making it to the LPGA one day. Hi, Kate. How you doing?
I'm good, Hugh. How are you? Nice to catch up again.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's great seeing you. So we're going to talk about your journey to the LPGA. We're going to kind of recap where you've been, where you are, and where you hope to go. And the exciting part about that is you're going to document all of this for Golf Town throughout the season. We're very excited about that.
Yeah, so we got 1 year under our belt. So this year, gonna provide more of the inside look on what touring lifestyle is like and all the adventures that go along with it.
I'll bet there's more than a few adventures to go along with that. So let's talk about last year. You spent a lot of time on what's called the Women's All-Pro Tour. What is that exactly, for those who might not know?
So the way advancing to LPGA works is there's basically a series of tours that you can work your way through. So LPGA being the ultimate goal, Epson is the tour below that feeds into the LPGA, and then Women's All-Pro Tour is the tour that feeds into Epson and provides opportunity to qualify. So it's kind of a great starting tour, and they provide us lots of playing opportunities and great fields.
Let's talk about last year. I looked at your stats, 9 events, top 25 finish, made 3 cuts, but that earned you partial status for Epson. So what was the overall experience like for you last year?
Yeah, last year was a steep learning curve, I'll call it. So getting back into competitive golf full time and playing, for your paychecks was very different. And the season was definitely a bit of a slow burn, but kind of found our stride in mid-June and played really solid from then, which got me through stage 1 of Q school in August. That was the penultimate goal there, to get through that to earn Epson status for next year.
So let's talk a little bit about what it's like, the day-to-day on the grind, on a kind of because we see programs, we see shows about the PGA and the LPGA, and we see the private jets and the limousines and all that kind of stuff. It's not quite like that on the Women's All-Pro Tour, is it?
No, it's not as glamorous for sure. I spend a lot of time driving, so I'll do drives, from here to California to Florida, Texas, kind of all over. Lots of hotels, really good groups of girls to travel with though, so that makes it a lot easier, kind of caravanning across the US. And then I think the host housing and the members that open up their homes to have us for the week and give us that family environment while we're traveling is the highlights of the grind. But the rest of it can get a little challenging at times.
You have any interesting road stories you want to share from last year? Like, well, what was the craziest thing to happen to you out on the road?
The weirdest road trip we had was driving to Mississippi, and instead of highway driving, it was like 2-lane road, back road driving for 2.5 hours. And it was farm fields and churches was basically all we saw for 2 hours. So that was an interesting road trip, and I was glad to have a buddy for that one.
Yeah, a little off the beaten path, as they say.
Yeah,
right?
very off the beaten path, but lovely ones we got there.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys play really nice courses on the Women's All-Pro Tour, right?
Yeah, we were really fortunate with how hard they work to get us on, high caliber courses. There's particular track in Abilene where the members are so excited to have us there. They have kind of like their version of the stadium hole with a beer tent set up and some bedding on the girls for closest to the pin. So I think the environment we go into with the members and the volunteers are what makes the tournament so great on WAPT.
Yeah, I love the stadium hole concept. So for people who don't know, this is a tour that is primarily based in the American South and in California, correct?
Yeah, so Women's All-Pro Tour travels Texas and kind of the states surrounding Texas. I think the plan for this year is maybe to reach into Florida a little bit, but yeah, primarily that central South area.
Yeah. So what did you learn about Kate Johnston last year with all of this traveling and all of these road trip adventures? What did you learn about you?
I think what the biggest thing was the level of self-belief. I don't know if I necessarily started the year with, but got to that point at the end, because it is a lot of time on your own, and you have to be very independent and really believe in what you're doing out there, because you do make a lot of sacrifices. So I think that was the thing I didn't know I necessarily had in me that I discovered by the end of it, for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned that you spend a lot of time on your own. It can get lonely out there on the road, and like you start thinking too much, right? Was there ever a time last year where you thought, I don't know if I can do this, or did you just slough off those feelings and power through?
Yes and no, I would say. I had a stretch in April where I just didn't have my good golf, and we were playing in some Texas wind, and it was a bit of a battle. And I really did have those moments of like, well, this has been a big commitment, and I'm not sure if I have it. And then I went to a US Open qualifier and put together two of my best rounds of the year. And from there, it was that big turning point where if you can come, top 5 in this kind of field for the girls that want to go to the US Open, you can compete everywhere. And it's really a momentum game. It snowballed from there, and went on to have all my made cuts and a top 10 at the Texas Women's Open from that point. So it changes.
Yeah, that's great. It's amazing what a little bit of confidence can do for the game, right?
Yeah. Once one good round, you believe it. And next thing you know, 8 good rounds and tournaments made and checks made. It's good. That's
incredible. So tell me how partial exemption to the Epson Tour works for you this year.
Yeah, so I made it through stage 1, which at the beginning of the year was my ultimate goal. So I was thrilled with that. Stage 2 of Q School didn't go quite as well as I had hoped. So I have a status where I think I'm going to be kind of living on wait lists all season for Epson. So we're going to get into some events and unfortunately not get into some others. So goal will be play as much as I can when I can, and then use Women's All Pro Tour for exemptions when you win, and potential top 5 for exemption through stage 1. So it'll be a busy season, kind of floating between the 2 tours.
So the motto for you this summer is hurry up and wait, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's hurry up and wait, and then play well when you get to play. That's kind of the rules we'll be living by.
That's gotta be tough mentally, because first of all, you don't know if you're going to be playing, and then once you find out you are, all of a sudden you have to get into that player's mindset. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think it will be a bit of an adjustment. I think the mentality will really be that you just got to go play golf every time you get a chance to, go out and play the best you can, and just, take the opportunities when you get them.
How is the game right now?
It's trending up. It's been a good off season. A little bit of rest was good, recover from the year, and then, get mindset focused for this season. So I'm itching to get going and get back in the swing of things here.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned that you have a bit of a road trip ahead of you. You're going all the way where?
Gonna go all the way to Palm Desert, so desert side of California. So I think it's 36 hours drive time. So it'll be a bit of a haul, but some podcasts and good playlists will be all right. Yeah,
for sure. So I mean, getting back to the glamour of being on the road, there are a lot of costs associated with this. Like to chase down this dream, it is not cheap. It is expensive, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. So, I mean, Epson, for example, it's a really big travel schedule. We could go from California to Florida to Utah to Michigan. So it'll be a lot of miles on the car. That's the least expensive way to travel, is in the car.
Yep.
And, relying on host housing when we can. But yeah, it'll be an endeavor for sure this year. Hopefully some made cuts and made paychecks will help for sure.
Yeah, well, the best of luck to you. And like I said earlier, you're going to document this. So how are you going to do that? And what kinds of stories are you going to tell?
I'm hoping I'm going to report back good stuff, but we'll share the highs and the lows of it. Kind of try to give an inside look of, what a tournament weeks look like, what an off week looks like. The difference between a week where you make a cut and the weeks where you don't. Just kind of show the inside scoop on what tour life really looks like from, the starting out point.
Living out of the trunk of your car and out of a suitcase.
Exactly.
Right? Lots of craft dinner, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? You're chasing down your dream, and you should be commended for that. It's not an easy thing, and you're you're brave. You're getting out there and you're getting after it. Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I do it now while I'm young and
Yep.
make sure I have no regrets about leaving anything left in my golf career.
Well, get out there and hit them straight. Kate Johnston, you're going to be blogging your journey toward the Epson Tour and eventually the LPGA for Golf Town this summer. We look forward to that, and we're all wishing you the best of luck, and we can't wait to read that first blog.
Thanks, you. It was nice catching up with you.